Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Today we will explain about our research on Koperasi Mahasiswa ITS Surabaya. Next, this is our member. We're from Group 4. There is Arina, ID number 007. There is Siti Aulia, NRP 095. There is Fanny, ID number 046. There is Andi, ID number 068. And myself, Muhammad Adif, ID number 117. Here's our content today. The first content is introduction, which consists background, problem formulation, objectives and benefits, and profiles of the organization. The second one is conceptual framework, which consists teamwork and organizational culture. And the third one is methodology, which consists object research, location and time research, technique of data collection, technique of data processing, and time frame of the research. Okay, first is introduction. Here is our background of the study. So as a social being, human can be separated from their group, either in business activities, in social life, or even in personal life. Sometimes it is a must for an individual to join a group to solve his problem together. Cooperation between two or more people in order to solve their problem is natural. If this partnership is going well, any party that is a member of it has the option to make it more formal and structured, and each party has their own obligations that have been decided upon by both parties. This kind of cooperation is called organization. Organization is one of many elements that is needed in human's life, even more in this modern era. In every organization, it is a must for all members of organization to work together in order to achieve their goals. Sometimes they will create a best way for them to achieve it, which later will be applied as organization culture and behavior. Organization can be found everywhere, even in ITS. In ITS, one of many organizations that can be found is KOPMA Dr. Angka ITS. This research is intended to identify the organizational behavior of KOPMA Dr. Angka ITS as an organization and how it can be improved. The next one is problem formulation. There are five for problem formulation. The first one is what culture that KOPMA ITS have and need to be maintained. The second one is how the current culture can be passed down to the new member of KOPMA ITS. The third one is how KOPMA ITS develop their human resource. The fourth one is how the member of KOPMA ITS do their work as a team. And the last one is how the function that the leader has in the KOPMA ITS. For objective and benefit, there are five also. The first one is identify how the culture that KOPMA ITS have and need to be maintained. Next is understand the current culture can be passed down to the new member of KOPMA ITS. The third one is understand how KOPMA ITS develop their human resource. The fourth one is analyze how the member of KOPMA ITS do their work as a team. And the last one is analyze the function that the leader has in KOPMA ITS. Next is the profile of the organization. So KOPMA Dr. ITS, KOPMA Dr. Angka ITS is an organization in 10 November Institute of Technology that is established to improve the well-being of its member and society as a whole. This organization was established on 22 June 1982 to comprehend it as Rector Decree number 1663, 11 May 1982. As you can see here, there is a timeline of Dr. Angka ITS, KOPMA Dr. Angka ITS. So in 1982, KOPMA ITS was established by several ITS students that is trying to fulfill their need. And in 11 May 1982, ITS Sector Decree number 1663 is out and strengthened the existence of KOPMA ITS. In 22 June 1982, KOPMA ITS was inaugurated as ITS Rector's Decree number 1663, actualization. And in 1983, KOPMA ITS changed its name to KKB ITS. And in 1994, KOPMA Dr. ITS, KOPMA Dr. Langka ITS was established. Next is vision and mission of the study. Our vision, the vision and mission of the KOPMA ITS, the KOPMA ITS. Their vision is creating a business management optimization and developing organizations' human resource through dynamism and synergy for better KOPMA Dr. ITS. They have four mission, which is prioritizing the development of KOPMA Dr. ITS business unit that is systematic, sustainable, competitive, and adaptable through the preparation of human resource and optimization of the assets owned. Next is creating the habit of deliberation and discussion within KOPMA Dr. ITS. The fourth one is building a harmonious relationship with KOPMA Dr. ITS stakeholder. The last one is creating professional, communicative, and synergistic internal collaboration to support members' development so they can improve its business. Here is the structure organization of KOPMA ITS Nirmana period of 2021. At the top of them is rapat anggota, below them ketua umum pembinaan pengawas, and below of them is the division which consists PSDM, Adung, Humas, Keuangan, and Business.
Okay, the second one is conceptual framework. Next. The conceptual is the teamwork. The definition of teamwork is Jason and O'Leary in 1984 argued that teamwork is a group of at least two students who are tied together by a common purpose to complete a task and to include every group member. And the second is the important reason of teamwork. According to Ciptono and Diana 2001, the factors that underline the need to form a team are: the first is the thought of two or more people tend to produce better results than the thought of just one person. The second is the concept of synergy. 1 plus 1 is bigger than 2, namely that overall team performance results are better than a number of team members involved. The third is team member can get to know and trust each other so that there can be assistance and cooperation. And the fourth, with teamwork, it can lead to positive communication. Next. Okay, the third is the effect of division of work on teamwork. According to Munir 2002, the benefit of division of labor are: the first is make easy for someone to do their job without having to wait for order. The second is clearly note the limit of the authority and responsibility of the job. The third is to note the assignment or implementation of tasks. And the fourth is made it easy to survive. The fifth is there is no convention or class in the execution of the work. And the last is becoming a basic consideration in determining educational needs. Next is the effect of division of work on teamwork. Leader can use several performance indicators. The first is quality of work, second work quantity, three cooperation, and four responsibility, and five initiative. And the last is factor effective achievement of performance in teamwork. According to Mangkunegara 2000, factor that influence performance achievement is ability factor and motivation factor.
So next we have the organizational culture, and the definition of organizational culture is a term used to describe a system of common meanings embraced by members of an organization that is distinct from other organizations. And the organizational culture has four roles. The first is assist staff in developing a sense of belonging. The second one is may be used to form intimate bonds. And the third one is and then contributing to the organization's cohesion as a social structure, and last, presenting guidelines as a result of established norms of behavior. And then we have types of organizational culture, and there are three forms of organizational culture in general. The first one is constructive culture, the second one is passive defensive culture, and the third one is aggressive defensive culture. So we also have the indicator of organizational culture. According to Robin and Judge, there are 7 key characteristics that each capture the nature of an organization's ethos. The first is innovation and risk-taking, which will show how far a member is encouraged to be creative and brave enough to take risks. The second is attention, which will show the extent to which members can demonstrate achievement, analysis, and attention to the detail. Next, results oriented, which will show the extent of which management focuses on results, and then oriented to human resources, which will show the extent to which management considers the effects or consequence or on human resource. Then next, team oriented, which will show the extent to which work activities are organized in related teams. And then we have aggressiveness, which will show the extent to which management moves aggressively. And the last, stability, which will show the extent to which management of organizational activities emphasizes the maintenance of the status quo.
The last of our content is research methodology. Next. The first one is object of research. The research was conducted on the KOPMA ITS Organization, which is a cooperative organization oriented to business units with a management period of 2021. We could call it Nirmana. The object research is based on the KOPMA ITS organizational teamwork and organizational culture, which is based of the human resource of KOPMA organization. Next is the location and the time frame of research. The research location using virtually through Zoom meeting, and the time were taken place on April 21st, 2021 at 9 p.m. And next, the technique of data collection. We using qualitative data collection techniques. The collecting the data is pure connected by interviewing the interviewees, so data can be classified by primary data. But and we also using the secondary data for adding some theory about organizational behavior, especially about teamwork and culture. But we do not use the secondary data for adding some arguments about KOPMA ITS due to there is no secondary data that is available about it. Next.
So here's the technique of data processing. The first one is there is data reductions. So the data from the interviews is still random to do conclusions. So the ends of data reductions are used to summarizing, filtering, and focusing the conclusions, the data from interviews. So the device that we use is computer, and then the tools is Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint. So the next one is data presentations. After doing data reductions, we go to the data presentations. Due to the type of data is qualitative, therefore the data that have reducted is in the form of narrative text. So the aim of this step is for making us become easier to understand and conclude the data. And then the last one is data interpretations. So these data interpretations will answer the problems that that we already determined in the beginning research step. So the next, there is time frame of the research. The first one, starting by conducting the permissions interview of the interviews. So after that, we go to the licensing approve. Is it approved or not? And then yes, we get licensing approved by the interview. And then after that, go to the data collecting. Data collecting in here, we ask some questions to interviews, and then using the tools like Zoom meeting or Google Meet. And then after that, we do the data processing, and then after that we do analyzing and then concluding the data, and then after that it's finished. So thank you for our presentations. If we make some mistake, we feel sorry. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.